story time again, and this time it's about 10:30 at night on a Saturday. We had friends over tonight, which is always a good time, and we're going to talk
But
about.
they're in bed already.
They are. Well, they are. We've been dancing to music and having a really nice time in Davenport. I've been lucky in love. If you can get one thing from me, I've been lucky in love. Well, we're going to talk about 1985, and I'm going to tell you what a big deal this record was. Now, I don't know who's hearing this video. It might be half a century from now. It might be 2 years from now. But Born in the USA was a big record for Bruce Springsteen. I became a fan a couple years earlier, and he'd been around since I was in high school. He was actually on the cover of Time magazine and Newsweek at the same time. As you know, I stutter. That's all right. Anyways, he was on the cover of both the same week, the same time. With Born to Run was a great album. I bought that one, loved it. But 1985 comes and Born in the USA comes out, and it is rocking the world. He got second place in the Grammys, which really pissed me off. I don't watch the Grammys anymore because I don't know anybody. But he got second place to
Lionel Richie.
yes, for With Easy Like Sunday Morning. Anyway, which is a fine song.
Yes.
But I remember I made obscene gestures at the TV screen. That's probably the last time I watched the Grammys. But anyways, there's a great story involved with
Well, tell us the story.
Born in the USA and the 1985 tour. The Bruce Springsteen tour of 1985, Born in the USA, was a big deal. He was selling out arenas all across the world. And he was going to play in Ames, Iowa. And I had a very good friend named Forrest who was going to school at Iowa State. And he was going to get tickets for me, Janet, and him to go see the Boss at, I don't remember the name of the arena, but we were going to go. And we had planned on going. And up to the week before we were going, he gives us a call and says, "Can't get tickets. I got one for me, but I can't get tickets
For us.
for two more tickets."
Yeah.
You know, and I don't remember reacting negative, any emotionally or anything like that. I mean, I was a fan, but it wasn't the Beatles or anything. but I was, let down, and Janet was working at Bettendorf Bank.
I was a teller.
She was a teller, and she was, I was 25, so she was 21. And I will say this. I will say this about Janet. I'm glad I was young with her. and if you're my daughters, I was glad I was young with your mom. But anyway, so we didn't get tickets, and I don't remember us talking much about it or thinking much about it.
No.
It was just one of those things. We didn't get tickets.
Yeah.
Well, so I worked at a warehouse called Americold at the time. It might have not been called that at the time. It changed names.
Termicold.
Yes, I think it was Termicold. And I'd worked
What
there.
year was it?
85, and I'd worked there 8 years. And we would load and unload trucks of frozen.
So before children.
Yes, it was like a year before children.
Yeah.
And we would load and unload trucks by hand, filling these trucks.
Semi-trial.
Yes, with these boxes.
Yes.
And
Of frozen goods.
yes,
Food.
And early in my time there, we learned that if we put the radio at the very back of the trailer when you're loading it, it had a really great stereophonic sound. It echoed down the trailer. It sounded great. So I remember we were loading a truck by hand, me and another guy, and it was a Friday because the concert was on a Friday. And I don't know if I've really ever asked you your official role in how this went about.
I think we were disappointed we couldn't go. And then I heard that the radio station was giving away tickets. And I thought, what the heck? So
She's at work.
I'm at work and I'm not supposed to be making telephone calls. Imagine that. Honestly, no telephone calls. And it's either a push button phone or a rotary dial phone. There were no cell phones.
Right.
So I'm behind the teller line, and I'm throughout the day, we're listening to the radio, and I'm calling in every single time to try and win tickets to this Bruce Springsteen
Born
concert.
in the USA tour.
Born in the USA tour concert in Ames, Iowa. And
So, okay, so it's late in the day.
it is.
And she works till 5, and I'm sitting there with another guy, and I wish I could remember who it was, but we're loading trucks. Our radio is on the radio station, whatever station was. I didn't plan on this. We didn't talk about this.
No.
And I'm loading this.
We weren't that organized at that time.
No. Well, we just
were.
Well, I didn't know you were even trying.
No.
So I'm loading this truck, and I say, and I hear the DJ say, 5th caller gets free tickets to the Bruce Springsteen Born in the USA concert in Ames tonight. Okay. So we're loading trucks, and they go on with their, play a song or two, and they say, we have a winner. Janet Kutmas has won tickets to the Born in the USA Bruce Springsteen 1985 concert. I mean, I was freaking shocked, and I wish I could communicate. Just this woman, she must have been over the moon, and so because there was no cell phone, she couldn't call me.
No.
I don't even know how I found it on the radio.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
right.
only reason I knew. And so she worked till 5. And the
At
concert was
Ames.
at 8, and it's 3 hours away.
At least.
And we had this Honda Accord that we bought. It was green. It was kind of the standard Honda Accord color.
Yeah.
And she got off work. We had no kids. And so we hopped in this Accord. I called my friend, Forrest, and we got on the interstate. And I remember us driving, and I remember
Super duper fast.
super duper fast, but we passed this truck driver. Do you remember that? And he went,
No.
and he gave us the hands. He knew there was a cop ahead, but he did. He gave us the hands, so we slowed down, and lo and behold, we made it to the Bruce Springsteen Born in the USA concert. And
Amazing.
and I was a fan. And what's funny is I remember a couple of years earlier, I was at a band practice with my friend Rex, and he was in a band. And there was a girl I went to high school with, Teresa Brockage. I remember her name. And she said, have you ever seen Bruce Springsteen? I said, no, I really hadn't really heard of him except for the Time magazine. And I forgot about that. And she said, he plays like 3.5 hours. Okay? So she said, he's the best concert I've ever seen. So I had that in my mind, but then I got into Bruce Springsteen with Born to Run and Darkness on the Edge of Town. I got a plan for that one.
Oh, okay.
And Darkness on the Edge of Town and Nebraska. And they're just great. I mean, they are great records. I know I'm not going to influence whoever's watching this video to listen to this music, but it's good music.
It is.
Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, we have a nephew who loves.
We do. And he's young. He's 35, 37.
No, he's the age that we are married.
He's 40.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hi, Nick.
So anyway, we get to the concert, and it was so cool. I mean, there was like flags, and it's all black, and if you know the song Born in the USA, it starts out with a da 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 da. Then Max Weinberg, da 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 da. This drum hitting, and then the lights go on. Bruce Springsteen, Born Down in a Dead Man's Town. I mean,
I know it was
no,
so
seriously.
fun.
I've seen some really good concerts.
So fun.
I have seen some good concerts. I saw
Yes.
Paul McCartney.
Yes,
And
we
we
have.
saw Jackson. I love Jackson
Yes.
Brown. And we saw Tom Petty. We've
Yes.
seen some concerts in our day.
Yes.
But the Born in the USA was,
Phenomenal.
it really, really was. I mean,
Phenomenal.
It was. And what happened is we watched the concert. I don't want to embarrass you.
Please don't.
I won't. We went to the concert, and Forrest was a college student, of course, at the time.
An older college student.
Yeah, but he was 22, 20,
But he had not gone to school.
Yeah, he went late.
He went a little bit late.
So he went off to party with his college friends, and he was sharing a house with somebody, and so we went back.
How cold was the heat set at?
I don't remember that.
Oh, it's so cold in that house.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they turned the heat on until it was like 60.
It's cool that you remember that detail.
So cold.
I don't remember that detail at all.
Oh, God.
So-
I'm like, can you please turn the heat up at just a smidgen?
So Forrest went off to party with his friends, and we, being young, were on this hide-a-bed couch in the living room, did what young people do. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a very fond memory. Anyway, what is even funnier is Forrest was a duck hunter, and I hunted, but I didn't hunt ducks. You have to have a special license. So I'm laying in bed at 4:30 in the morning, 5 in the morning, with my. I mean, she's pretty now. I mean, she really is. But can you imagine her at night
Stop.
at 20?
Anyway.
So I'm laying with this sweet girl, and all of a sudden there's a guy in between us asking me to go duck hunting with him.
He's right.
This happened.
He's right in between us.
Yes, and I said,
Wait.
he's still a little,
You want to go duck hunting?
and he's a little. I don't know if he went to bed.
I
And
don't
I
think he
said,
did.
and I said, I don't have a duck snap for us. Well, you can watch me. And I'm like, huh?
Why?
Be here with my sweet baby, or in a duck blind watching you? The choice was obvious. so we did stay home and
Stay at his
place, and he came home, and then he actually prepared us. He didn't. I don't know if he shot the ducks that day, but he prepared us a duck dinner.
Very good.
That was really very
I
good.
think that's probably the last time I had duck.
And the Bears were on, so I was a big Bear fan at the time, and we watched the Bears game, and they won.
And the house was still cold.
It was still cold. Now, I remember Born in the USA, my same friend. I remember when I got the record, I recorded it on a cassette, and I played him a couple songs in my truck, my friend Forrest, and I remember his specific comment, I didn't think they made rock and roll records like that anymore. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I thought it was Bruce Springsteen's best album. Well, then,
Do you remember? No. Do
Keep
you
going.
remember the concert where we did party a little bit, and we were dancing, and then you and Forrest went down on the floor.
Jackson Brown.
No, with Bruce Springsteen. You and Forrest went.
Oh,
down
that
on
was
the
the Born in the
floor.
USA?
Yeah, you went down on the floor. I partied with the people in the in my section. Remember?
I do. I
remember
had
that?
forgotten that.
Yeah, you guys laughed, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna have some fun here.
It was.
You remember?
I do now. I had forgotten that.
And I remember, I think I wanted, was it that concert? I wanted to get an adult beverage. And the guy said, where's your ID? And I said, I don't have ID on me. And he says, he was the adult. You should always carry ID on you in case you're hurt. And then you can be identified. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I will do that then.
on her honeymoon.
But I was not.
On her honeymoon.
No,
she couldn't drink
I couldn't.
in Illinois.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's okay.
I'm gonna make a further comment on the Born in the USA album. It's a fantastic album. And I remember when Tunnel of Love, his follow-up album to Born in the USA, came out.
We went to that concert.
We did. It was a very good concert.
Oh my gosh.
And
And
we had-
remember the entrance?
yes,
Oh, shoot.
but I remember because Born in the USA was such a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
They did a news segment on his follow-up on some news station. And the people were saying, Tunnel of Love is better than Born in the USA. And I remember thinking, how can it be?
How can it be?
It
was
is.
pretty good.
No, it is.
But
It
he
is.
was
It is. This look how much I paid for this record.
But he was his first wife. He was married to his first wife.
Yeah, the
at the time.
supermodel gal.
Yeah, and it kind of was.
It's about her
Yeah.
and his new wife.
Yeah.
But I didn't think he could top Born in the USA.
Dang.
I played them both earlier tonight in a row, and Born in the USA still sounds great, but Tunnel of Love
It's just
it was a great concert with Big Man was alive. I mean, we were blessed to see that, and
Yeah.
and
Where did we see that?
in Chicago at the Horizon, the
Just
Rosemont
us?
Horizon. No, Daryl came with us. Yeah, we had a heck of a
Gosh.
time getting out of the parking lot. But yeah, that was
I
a
remember that.
That was a great concert. It started out.
$6.99.
Yeah, so much that helped them cost.
They're $30 now.
Right,
know.
right. I wanted to share this thought that this story with Janet, because I wanted her perspective from, being at the bank and calling the calls throughout the day.
Oh, and I remember just my boss. I wish I could remember his name, and it was like I was kind of sneaky to do it. I felt so bad now. I feel so bad now.
Tell me she isn't effing cute.
But I just, it was so, just like, it's busy. It's busy. And he's like in the distance, and I'm like behind the counter. There was a little ledge, like here's the table, and then there's a ledge, and then I was like behind, trying to go.
And Janet Koopmas, she won tickets. You know what's funny is we fast forward. I don't know the year. I'm gonna say at least.
Think of children's age.
Well, when you won the tickets to St. Pete's
Oh, gosh.
on a radio, I was at work. It had snowed
Well,
here.
Dave and Kelly would know because we
We were friends with
invited
Dave
them.
and Kelly, but it was
I think the kids were
pretty grown, not grown.
not grown like they are now, but
But so it was. We had a huge snowstorm here in Iowa on a Sunday. We worked at the same place. I ran the crew. She was in the office, and it was a freaking Monday. And for a time, I had a phobia about Mondays, which I did.
Anyway.
I got over that. But I was walking down the aisle and I see her. She's as excited as she can fucking be. Yeah, she did.
It's on the radio. I'm on the radio. We want a trip.
She won a trip to St. Pete's, Florida, and she was on the radio, and she's bubbly, as you know.
And they said, "Put your husband on the phone."
And
Okay.
I was like, "Yeah, I could use a vacation."
Come on, Mick, be a little excited, please.
Yeah, I was into myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to share these stories. But anyways, if you get the chance, I don't know what year anybody's watching this. Great record. Great.
Album.
Bruce Springsteen is a poet for our time. He is.
Blue collar worker. I mean, right? I mean, blue
His
collar
dad
man.
was. Yeah.
I mean,
This one, I didn't think he could top Born in the USA. This one's great.
Isn't he cute?
But if you really have an inkling, Born to Run is wow. Anyway, this is us in 2023
2023.
January.
Yeah, it's kind of past the pandemic, but people are still getting COVID and dealing with it, right?
Right.
And it just, 2020 was a difficult year, and
It was.
we have survived,
Best of times, worst of times.
and Christ has been glorified through this whole situation and this whole time. And, right?
God's good.
God is so good. So, that's all we got.